What if I told you that King Solomon wrote a guide to wealth thousands of years ago? It's hidden in plain sight in the Book of Proverbs. But here's the problem. Most people read it as poetry, not as the financial manual it truly is. They ignore the keys that today's millionaires secretly use to build their fortunes. In this video, I'm going to reveal 7 financial secrets from Proverbs that can turn your financial game around, starting today. And the first secret is about something you think you already know, but you're probably doing it completely wrong. Have you ever stopped to think about why some people seem to build wealth almost effortlessly, while others work their entire lives and never get ahead? The answer isn't in complex schemes or secret investment funds. It's in a 3,000-year-old book. The Book of Proverbs, written largely by Solomon, one of the wealthiest figures in history, is a true goldmine of financial wisdom. But that wisdom is in code. It doesn't talk about stocks or cryptocurrency, but about principles. And it's these timeless principles that form the foundation for all great modern fortunes. Our problem? We live in the era of, I want it all yesterday. We want wealth now, so we chase shortcuts. We ignore the solid foundation to run after the latest financial trick. Today, we're putting an end to that. Together, we're going to decode 7 secrets that are hiding in plain sight, but few actually apply. Get ready, because what you're about to hear might challenge everything you've been taught about money. The first and most important secret is this: the pursuit of wisdom comes before the pursuit of wealth. Most people chase money. The wealthy chase the knowledge that attracts money. The foundation for this is in Proverbs 4:7. The beginning of wisdom is this: get wisdom. Though it cost all you have, get understanding. Solomon didn't ask God for gold, he asked for wisdom, and wealth came as a consequence. Translating to today, your greatest asset isn't your salary or your house. It's your ability to learn and apply practical knowledge. Investing in yourself, whether through books, courses, or mentors, isn't an expense. It's the investment with the highest return that exists. Think about this. How many people spend $50,000 on a car that loses value the moment it leaves the lot, but think it's absurd to spend $500 on a course that could multiply their income? A perfect example of this is Warren Buffett. He spends most of his day reading. He's not reacting to the ups and downs of the market. He's accumulating wisdom to make decisions worth billions. He doesn't buy stocks. He buys businesses he understands thoroughly. First wisdom, then wealth. This is where it all begins. The second secret has to do with how you manage what you already have. Sounds basic, right? But this is where most people fail miserably. It's the principle of management and self-control. Proverbs 21:20 says, "The wise store up choice food and olive oil, but fools gulp theirs down." In other words, the wise accumulate and invest, while the fool spends everything they earn. You've surely heard stories of people who win the lottery and 5 years later are poorer than before, or athletes who earn millions and end up broke. They're the modern version of the fool who gulps it down. Their income exploded, but their financial mindset remained poor. Millionaires, on the other hand, understand that financial freedom doesn't come from earning more, but from controlling what you earn. They pay themselves first, not with what's left at the end of the month, but as soon as the money comes in. Each raise, each bonus, isn't an excuse to upgrade their lifestyle, but an opportunity to buy more assets and strengthen their financial fortress. Today's discipline is tomorrow's wealth. It doesn't matter how small the treasure you can save now is. The habit of saving it is what's going to make you rich. The third secret is the least glamorous of all, but perhaps the most powerful in the long run: diligence. We live in a culture that loves the hack, the shortcut. But wealth that lasts isn't built with tricks, it's built with habits. Proverbs 10:4 gets straight to the point. Lazy hands make for poverty, but diligent hands bring wealth. And in case there's still any doubt, Proverbs 6:6-8 advises us to observe the ant, which works without a boss and stores food in summer, thinking about winter. The diligent hand today doesn't just mean working like crazy. It means focused, consistent, and intelligent work. It's the programmer who dedicates an extra hour a day to learn a new language. It's the investor who puts money into their fund every month, whether the market goes up or down. It's the content creator who publishes videos consistently, even when the first ones barely get any views. Diligence is the engine of compound interest applied to our effort. A small effort, repeated countless times, generates exponential results. Millionaires don't count on luck. They create systems and habits that make success almost inevitable. They simply show up and do the work, especially on days when they don't feel like it, because they know that wealth isn't an event. It's a process built with diligence. This secret is the perfect antidote to the get-rich-overnight mentality. True wealth is built slowly. Any promise otherwise is, most likely, a path to loss. The Book of Proverbs warned us about this millennia ago. Proverbs 13:11 says, "Dishonest money dwindles away, but whoever gathers money little by little makes it grow." What is this dishonest money today? It's get-rich-quick schemes, betting on trendy stocks without any research, jumping on the next hype, hoping for an easy profit. This isn't investing, it's greed. And greed is the investor's #1 enemy. Think about how great fortunes were built. It wasn't overnight. It was through patient investment in solid businesses, gradual purchase of real estate, constant reinvestment of profits. It's the principle of gathering little by little. Sounds boring, doesn't it? That's why most people don't do it. They prefer the adrenaline of roulette to the certainty of slow progress. Millionaires, on the other hand, embrace the boredom. They know that the safest path to wealth is the slow and steady path. Okay, this secret might seem to make no sense at all. How can giving money make you richer? But this is one of the deepest and most repeated principles in Proverbs. Proverbs 11:24-25 says, "One person gives freely, yet gains even more. Another withholds unduly, but comes to poverty. A generous person will prosper." This isn't magic. It's a super practical principle. First, being generous breaks the power that money has over us. When you give, you're saying that money is a tool at your service, not your master. This frees you from fear and a scarcity mindset. Second, generosity builds your reputation and relationships. People want to do business with those who are generous and trustworthy. Your network, your social capital, expands. Suddenly, opportunities start appearing that you would never have otherwise. And third, from a faith perspective, many believe that being generous opens channels for blessings. But regardless of your belief, the pattern is clear. Those who contribute to the good of others seem to attract more success. Think about great philanthropists. Their capacity to give grew at the same time as their capacity to earn. Generosity isn't something you do after you get rich. It's a habit you practice on the path to wealth. The sixth secret is about who you associate with and how you do business. Wealth built on a rotten foundation doesn't last. Proverbs 22:7 leaves a powerful warning about the dynamic between rich and poor that applies perfectly to debt. The rich rule over the poor, and the borrower is slave to the lender. Of course, not all debt is bad. Debt to buy a house or for a solid business can be strategic, but consumer debt, credit cards, loans for gadgets, is a form of modern slavery. It steals your future income and limits your freedom. The wealthy use debt to buy assets. Most people use debt to buy liabilities that only lose value. Beyond that, Integrity is fundamental. Proverbs 11:1 says that the Lord detests dishonest scales, but delights in accurate weights. In today's world, this means being honest in business, delivering real value, and not trying to deceive others for a quick gain. A fortune built with integrity brings peace. A fortune built on lies brings the constant fear of being caught. Your alliances are equally important. Proverbs advises us countless times to walk with the wise. In a financial context, this means surrounding yourself with people who are responsible with money, who inspire you to grow, and who share your values. Your network either pulls you up or drags you down. Choose it wisely. The last secret is what ties all the others together. Without it, everything else crumbles. It's the secret of self-mastery. Proverbs 25:28 describes this brilliantly. Like a city whose walls are broken through is a person who lacks self-control. A city without walls is vulnerable to any attack. A person without self-control is vulnerable to any impulse, any temptation, any bad financial decision. Self-control is what keeps you from impulse buying that gadget you don't need. It's what makes you stick to your budget, even when your friends pressure you to spend. It's what gives you the strength to keep investing long-term when the markets are in panic. It's the discipline to delay short-term gratification in exchange for long-term freedom. Without self-control, wisdom is useless because you won't apply it. Diligence fails because the desire to be lazy wins. Patience becomes impossible because the need for immediate results speaks louder. Building self-control is like training a muscle. Start small, say no to an expensive coffee, automate your savings so you don't even have to think about it, turn off notifications from shopping apps. Each small victory strengthens your financial wall, making you stronger and more prepared to manage great fortunes. So that's it. The 7 money secrets from the Book of Proverbs. First, make wisdom your primary asset. Then, build your fortress with financial discipline. Practice diligence every day. Embrace patience and build slowly. Use generosity as a magnet. Always maintain integrity and choose your alliances well. And, above all, build the walls of self-control. Notice how everything is connected. Wisdom without diligence is useless. Diligence without patience leads to frustration. And none of this works without self-control. The final message of Proverbs isn't that money is the goal. It's that by applying these principles in your life, prosperity becomes a natural fruit. These aren't tricks. This is a lifestyle. Start today. Choose one of these secrets and focus on applying it this week. The transformation of your financial life doesn't begin with $1 million in the bank. It begins with one wise decision. These habits will protect your money, but there's a secret code that Solomon used to multiply wealth that almost no one in the church teaches today. It's controversial, but it's in the Bible. Discover what it is by clicking here.